All right. Is this thing on? Can you guys hear me? What up, what up, what up? Merry Christmas to those of you that are watching right now. I kind of just wanted to hop on here. For those of y'all that are probably spending Christmas by yourselves, man, you are not alone. I don't really know what the point of this video is going to be. I guess I kind of just wanted to come on here and just... All right, anyway, so it is a new year, or a new year is going to be coming up, and I know there's going to be a lot of changes probably going on in everyone's lives, especially myself. I spent a lot of 2025 pretty much getting sober. This might be TMI, but I hadn't slept with any chicks or anything like that for the entire year of 2025. I have just been locked in the studio, studying languages, going to the gym, avoiding alcohol, avoiding toxic people, avoiding crazy situations, and pretty much just kind of keeping to myself. And I would say the one thing that has come out of that, I've kind of noticed that I just don't really have this certain patience or the same threshold for being around, like, I guess, like stupid behavior or like stupid people and shit like that. I think that for anybody else out there who's ever taken a significant amount of time to yourself to either improve yourself or work on yourself or make some kind of like life-changing decision, you notice that once you come back out from this as like a different person, I guess, you realize that whenever you try to go back around the same behaviors or the same things that you used to be around, that mentally you don't have the same patience for it. Your spirit is kind of like, yo, like, what are we doing? We're going backwards. We can't be around this, behavior anymore, or these type of situations anymore. So, as me being sober and not having touched any form of alcohol for over a year, I can be around people that are drinking. That's not a problem for me. I think the problem that comes more now whenever I'm around like stupid drunk people, like the ones that like they get fucked up and they're like wilding out, they don't know how to act, they're trying to put your life in danger. You got people that want to drive drunk with you in the car and shit like that. Before I would probably laugh and kind of want to, hang out more and all that shit. But at this point and at this stage of my life, once I start to see that kind of behavior, it's like, yo, you have a problem that you need to work on, that you need to take care of before you try to come around me again. Because, this goes for anybody that's watching this. If you have people around you that will put your life, at risk for a thrill or to have some fun, you kind of got to reevaluate, is that even a friendship? Someone who's going to put your life at risk for fun. And then when you tell them about it, they try to gaslight you and make you feel like you're the crazy person for not wanting to be in the car with a drunk person, right? We got the Pokemon coffee cup. But, and even on the sex shit, right? So like I said, I haven't slept with a chick, no type of like physical interaction with a woman of like at all of 2025, right? So, how I think that has affected me mentally, I think it's done a lot, especially whenever it comes to having peace within. I've kind of been able to just sit and focus on so many other things aside from like chasing validation through dating or cheap hookups and shit like that. Like, I've been able to focus all of that time into developing my language skills. For those of y'all that probably know or don't know, I'm B2 intermediate in Spanish. I'm also learning Portuguese, and I can read Russian. I can still read Russian, but I kind of put Russian on a back burner right now. I picked up a bass guitar. I'm learning bass guitar. I go to the gym, almost 5 days a week, and I'm very health conscious. And to me, it's like, with all the music stuff going on as well too, there's a lot of things that I'm passionate about sometimes, and I do feel like me not putting, like, I guess, women into any of this has kind of showed me that if I do ever decide to do that again, it has to be somebody that can understand and at least maybe live a lifestyle that is very similar to the things that I'm into. Like, it doesn't have to be all things, but I would be happy just, you know, with someone who either likes the gym, eats healthy, maybe sober. If they don't go to the gym all the time, maybe they play an instrument, maybe they're a musical person, right? So those kind of things is what has opened my mind, that I'm kind of like open up for now, right? So 2026 is coming up, man, and I think 2025 has been a very interesting year for me. It's helped me develop, I would say, like, if you compare this video of me talking to you guys to any other video on this channel of me talking, I think you could probably see like a aura or like a vibe shift, right? I feel like for myself, I'm probably a lot more calm in the in the midst of chaos, right? I don't really try to entertain any more bullshit or any more drama, because, you know, life is short, man. And you know, the one thing I always tell everybody is that life is very short. We don't know what's gonna happen, whether it's heaven, hell, you know, Buddhism, Muslim, whatever. It don't matter what you believe. At the end of the day, you only have one physical reality that you can see right now, that you can touch with your hands. And you gotta appreciate it, right? You gotta try to live right. I'm not perfect. I know there's probably someone out there that's watching this like, fuck you, Taboo. I hate you. You have hurt me. Hey, I'm sorry if I've ever caused you any type of pain or anything like that, but life is life, and you have to evolve as a person, right? Even if you've made mistakes in the past, you have to evolve as a person. There's things, right? For instance, like, somebody told me recently, like, as an insult, they used this as an insult. They were like, oh, you're so well spoken, I feel like I'm around a white boy, right? Before, when I was a kid, I'm 31 for those of y'all that don't know. When I was a kid, I used to let this stuff bother me. But as an adult, if someone tells me now that I'm well spoken, and, you know, someone tries to use that as an insult, it's like, my friend, that is actually a compliment, right? And then I think other, like, black people or dark-skinned people probably struggle with this, is you get called certain names whenever you carry yourself a certain way. And my advice to you is, don't let that shit discourage you. You know, be yourself, be you 100%. That is one thing that I have definitely been able to sit down. Because, I mean, think about it, guys. I didn't go anywhere. I wasn't clubbing. I wasn't partying. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing shit besides studying and reading books the whole year. This whole year, I've been in my fucking room. I've had to backtrack. My guys, it may look like I have it together sometimes, right? And it's because I'm focused. I have a plan, but I lost a lot, man. I had a nice crib where I was living next to $1 million mansions and shit. And, you know, I had a girl that was staying with me, and I went through a lot, man. I lost a lot of stuff. Y'all saw the Miata that I had. I lost the Miata and everything. And it's only now that I put in the work. Trust me, this whole year I've been suffering. All right. So whoever wants me to suffer, I've been going through it this whole year, right? I'm barely now. That's why now I'm starting to put music out again. I'm barely now starting to get myself out of the hole to where I'm able to get back to where I was at before. Not beyond it, but at the same place, but with a better mentality. Because sometimes the universe will hand you something, but you don't have the right mental capacity to be able to understand what you've been given. So you fuck it up, right? And then you don't get another chance. So the universe is going to give me another opportunity. I'm not going to say too much on what any of that is going to be, but you will see as things progress and go over time, right? So 2025, man, I have definitely learned, you know, to love myself, right? I'm very protective of my artwork now when it comes to music. I've even made my Instagram private because the evil eye, man, you got to be careful for that shit. There's people out there that will be looking at everything that you do, and they will not support anything that you do, but they can't help themselves to look at every single move you make. And there's nothing you can do about it, right? So what I could do about it was just cut off access to people that I don't want looking at my shit. They're still going to find another way. They'll probably make a fucking burner account or some shit, you know? But getting comfortable with yourself, man, that's my advice to anybody that's watching this, is get comfortable with yourself. There's people who are probably not even going to watch this because it's me talking and not fucking rapping, right? But it's okay. You know, you can like the music. You don't got to like the person. But get comfortable with yourself, man. because I'm gonna die one day, and I want these videos to be something that y'all can come back and sit down and just listen to. You know, I told myself that I wouldn't put up videos like this on my channel anymore because, you know, people just want to hear the music, whatever. This is my fucking channel. So if I want to sit here and talk about fucking, I don't know, nature for an hour, I'll fucking do it. But man, I just want to give a big thank you to everybody that does show support, that does show love, that does listen to the music, that does interact with it. Because the way a lot of the algorithms work is if I'm getting views, but no one's commenting and they're just liking shit, it's like, all right, cool, you liked it, but if you interact with it, the algorithm pushes it more. So whenever I see people that are like, bro, you're so talented, but why doesn't your thing get more traction or some shit? It's like, well, hey, motherfuckers don't like to comment. They like to like it, and then they'll message me and tell me, hey, that thing that you just put out is fire. It's like, bro, thank you, but please go comment on it, you know? So that's one thing I would ask of you guys more with this upcoming year, as I start to focus more on music videos and bringing you guys higher quality content and putting money into, because remember, I'm doing this by myself. I still work a normal job, of course, right? And I don't like to tell too much of what I do, but you know, for any of you guys that are curious, that are probably like, what does he do? I work in IT, guys. I work in IT. I work with technology. That is also part of why I am so well spoken. Okay, I work around fucking corporate people all the time. Are the face tattoos a problem? No. But that's a whole discussion for another video. I do plan on removing a few of them because I am going for a different look. I'm still going to be tatted up, but I'm going to remove a few of my face tattoos in the future. But yeah, going forth with 2026, man, I'm going to be putting more money into the music videos, into the content, because you guys do deserve it. And then at this point in time, in the music and everything, it has to happen, you know? So anyways, man, I don't want to talk you guys' heads off. I do see that I am crossing the 12-minute mark here, so it's gonna be, I'm not even gonna edit this shit. I'm just gonna put it up exactly how it is, because you know, that's how it is, man. It should be raw, unfiltered, you know, giving you guys a little glimpse into my mentality. Because one thing that I do struggle with, for anybody who's ever looked at my social media, who's ever watched me, is like, I would say I have a split personality disorder. I wouldn't say it's a disorder because I use it to my benefit, but I think once life forces you to be so many different people, to do so many different things, you start to develop a mentality where you see yourself not as one person, but as multiple people doing different things. And for anybody else who's ever experienced that, if you know what I'm talking about, my advice to you is bring them all together and just remember that y'all are all on the same mission, right? So anyways, I wanted to do this because I know I'm not going to do a video for New Year's, but we are going into a new year. I hope all of you guys get everything you want for Christmas. And if you did not do anything that you were supposed to do this year, focus and lock in for 2026 and get it right, man. Because with AI, you know, seeing an upsurge and the way the world is, a lot of like discrimination and not even discrimination, but a lot of division in the United States. People are always fighting at each other and shit like that, you know? Pick up a second language, man. Go to the gym. If you drink too much, try to stop drinking too much. If you smoke too much, try to, you know, limit yourself a little bit. But thank you guys as always for the support. I don't know how many views this video is going to get. I don't know who's going to fucking listen to this shit. But for whoever it is and whoever did, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have yourselves a great rest of your 2025. And I hope that 2026 is going to be filled with nothing but blessings to all of you, man. So cheers. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of this day. And I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.